All righty. Hello there, folks. Here we are. Second broadcast for Sharon and I over here on our little channel, our little fun channel where we kind of take a fun look at the news, as you guys saw from last week. So we have obviously picked out a few things this week I thought were interesting. Well, hi, Sharon, first of all, I guess.
Hello, Erekose.
And hello, everybody out there in the
chat.
We got Captain Crunch with us.
Yeah.
Hanging out over there in Scotland at the Crunchberry Vineyards.
We better watch out for the midges.
Yeah, watch out for the midges. Yeah, the Crunchberry Vineyards got midges. That's what makes the grapes. That's what makes the Crunchberries so good, because the midges keep everything else away. So anyway.
Oh, there's Jane as well. A lot of people are popping in. That's nice.
So.
That's what I like to see.
Yep, we got Neil there.
Yeah.
William, you know.
Jerome was there too. And Cheryl.
Jerome, Cheryl. And it appears that's everybody. So there we go.
Yeah.
So, all right. So today we have a few stories that we're gonna talk about. Obviously, somewhat humorous on each of them. The first one we're going to show you is before we actually bring it up, I'm going to explain a little bit of it. It's interesting. I was going through the LA Times this morning. I get it digitally, and so I was checking it out and came across an article on page 44 of the LA Times today that was quite interesting. There is a video game that has recently been put out. Now, for those of you out there who are thinking Fortnite, no, absolutely not. This is for the vintage people like me. People like me that grew up playing video games. This game is actually in the style of Double Dragon. Yeah, I know. All you Fortnite mother effers out there are going, what the hell is that? Right? Yeah, see, I told you. Yeah, this is the game, dude. Back when I was a kid, this Double Dragon was one of the games that was like huge. Like another one was big at the time was Contra. Another one, shoot 'em up game kind of. But the thing that was cool about Double Dragon is that everybody, that all the whole game was like fist fighting, or you could pick up like knives and you could pick up weapons. But like Contra was another game that was a little different, where it was like all on warfare, weapons, whatever, and you were trying to take down the evil bases at the end of each level, right? But this one was really cool because, like I say, it was more of a fist fight. For those of you who are familiar with like Streets of Rage over on Genesis and games like that, that's what this is, very much in that style.
Street Fighter things as well.
Well, Street Fighter would have been after Double Dragon, and it would have been. Right. I would say that Street Fighter was an improvement or an advancement on kind of Double Dragon.
Jane's asking what's Double Dragon. It doesn't mean two dragons. Right.
So Double Dragon was a video game. So Sharon, go ahead and share the screen so that people can see the graphics of the video game that has been created. So this is a graphic from the video game that I'm talking about that has been created. The game, okay, so before I get to explaining, Jane, what Double Dragon is, let me just scroll down here real quick and show you guys the name of this. The name of this game is called Treachery in Beatdown City. That's the name of the game. Okay, folks? Okay, so to show you this graphic, this is what Double Dragon used to look like. And Double Dragon was essentially just a video game. It was a story of two, like, really muscle-bound brothers, tough guys, whatever, and they were going to take down the big bad bosses in the little, the crime bosses or whatever it was in the area they lived, because if I remember correctly, like, their family member had been killed by the cartel or by the drug dealers or whatever, something like that got them pissed off, and obviously they wanted to do something. So that's what Double Dragon was. It was essentially two brothers. So if you played as one player, you were one brother. If you played as two players, if you had a friend and you played as two players, you could play as both brothers, and then you would go through the game as both brothers. That is what Double Dragon was. Street Fighter, as I say, Jane brings up Street Fighter. Street Fighter is kind of along the same lines, but Street Fighter was more of a match game.
Where KO
Each person picks a character and then you fight a match. Whereas Double Dragon was a story, and so you fought your way through the levels of a story. So it's just the slight differences in it. Anyways, okay. So the interesting thing here, folks, is that in everything that's happened recently with George Floyd and all that kind of stuff, that this guy had created this game because he felt like kind of showing a reflection of what he feels like his experiences in life have been. He obviously lives in a big city. You can see that from the graphics. You can see if I go down to this graphic here, it's in a subway. So subways tend to be in New York.
The equalizer.
But there are other subways besides the ones in New York. But so obviously, this gentleman's from the city who made this game. Now, I will say one thing, slight bone to pick with the LA Times. This all came under an anti-racism section of the paper. The one bone I would have to pick with the LA Times is call it the prejudice section of the paper, because racism, although it is prejudice, is just one form of prejudice, and there are many forms of it. That's one slight suggestion I would make. One of the things that points that out to us is Michael Funk, obviously shot down by police, a hostage shot down by police. And he was absolutely Caucasian, 100% Caucasian. Prejudice happens. Prejudice exists in many different forms. So that's one of the main, that's one of the things I wanted to go ahead and say today. But so we basically get into this thing here. And what I wanted to say is this guy has created this video game. Now, like I said, somebody who grew up playing video games like this, I find it very interesting. And I would be very interested to play his video game to see what his storyline is. To be perfectly honest, I'm kind of curious of how he made the game and what the message of the game is. But so what they basically say here is that the game is political commentary, and I'm sure it is. It's just I just think it's intriguing. Obviously, it's going to be about his perception of what he's dealt with in his life up to this point. And so I think it's very interesting. So what do you think about this, Sharon? Obviously, I don't know how many video games you played as a youngster, but
well, my thing was Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
that was one I always played, Donkey Kong. I wasn't so much for the fighter games, I enjoyed. I was a bit bored, and I enjoyed the kind of logic games rather than the
Tetris.
Fighter. Yeah, things like that. But I would get bored. Even like games like today, I get bored after a little while playing them because it's just the same thing you're doing.
Right.
And the repetitiveness of these things usually, I just get on to the next thing. I want to go on to it. I'm like too flighty that way, So.
Right.
But then I've got the patience to pick up. If I dropped like a million beats, I'd be able to pick them all up without screaming the place down. So it's patience for certain things and not so much others. But driving games, my one was always the driving games. Sega, when the Sega.
The driving games, right.
Yeah, so like, if it was a driving game.
What's that one? Twisted Metal? That's one that's pretty famous.
Yeah,
Twisted
and then
Metal.
there's a Turbo something as well. I think there was something.
Gran Turismo?
Well, there's that. That was more the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I think there was something Turbo something. I think.
My best. The best is, dude, N64 Mario Kart. Oh, dude, freaking love that, dude. Mario
I was
Kart.
never one for Mario. I never really. I know everybody would go crazy for Mario, and
Mario Kart was cool because you
just a 2 week car. Yeah,
you're like on a racetrack. You could be up to. I think that you're able to go up to like eight racers if you had enough controllers. but like, and you could be like all racing. So it's like perfect for like when you're sitting around with friends getting like, drinking beers and getting hammered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, at least getting buzzed. And like you're just sitting around launching shells at each other on these racetracks and stuff. It's a lot of fun. So
anyway. Talking about getting drunk, did you see what William said about you for the whiskey? Double dragons when you're sitting drinking whiskey.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
Or worse than that effect too.
Is there a whiskey called Double Dragon? I got
No, but I think he's just meaning instead of seeing one, you're seeing two.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, seriously, somebody out there had to think of
People
that.
chase a dragon, don't they? They chase.
Right, they're chasing the dragon. It's usually with heroin, but you know.
Well, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything called dragon.
Psycho Fox. You mean
the game? Yeah. Oh, I was terrible.
Not Psycho
at that.
Fox though, is it? Isn't it something else? Not Psycho, is it? Oh, anyway, all right. Moving on.
I think it is, but there was the other one you're maybe thinking of, Crash Bandicoot, because they were both very alike.
Well, that's Crash Bandicoot. That's a different one, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was. I think it was Psycho.
No, there was.
I was terrible at that. I kept dying.
Star Fox. That's what it was called. Star Fox.
Maybe in the UK it was called Psycho Fox because they changed the name sometimes.
That could be. Yeah.
Maybe they thought, do I put any more psychos in America?
Right? Yeah. Right.
Maybe they thought we could handle the Psycho Fox.
Maybe.
But yeah, I do like that. I like looking at the graphics in that game. I'm looking at it. Oh, now I see you, and I'm like, I'll be up there.
Oh, it just totally takes me back to those days, back when I was like literally 12 or 13 years old. Video games were a big part of my life. So.
Well, that's good. I mean, these things are good to take you back, and you think, oh, I remember that. Like when I think about like Donkey Kong and all the times I played that, and then getting it on a games console, and I was like,
Yeah. Right, getting to play it at your leisure.
But the driving games is always the worst. Always my best. Driving games always my best. I would give myself a headache driving that much, And this is the funny thing is I don't even have a driver's license, so it would be my vicarious way to
how many
drive
people,
it up.
How many people in Scotland probably don't have driver's licenses?
I don't know. Maybe a few. Well, I don't want to give an exact number by saying a few, but I'm not rare by not having one. See, living in the city, and we don't have the big freeways and stuff like that. I mean, outside our door was a bus stop right across the road from the house. So in the city, a lot of people just, I'm not one for getting on the bus because we've got a car. But I always say, I was born to be driven, not to drive. But that's just my excuse. But I've never wanted to learn to drive just because I've always had really good public transport on my doorstep.
Yeah, because I was just noticing when I watch Still Game, nobody drives in that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, must be an America thing as well. Everybody, like the minute is it 17 when you get a driver's license? 16.
Yeah.
I think it's 17 here, but
you're allowed. You get to start taking driver's ed as a sophomore.
Right.
As soon as you pass driver's ed and you do your training where you have to actually do it with an instructor who passes or fails you, and then once you pass that, you're able to go and get your license. Yeah, it's a big rite of passage here in America.
Just like thinking there when I was thinking about that game, it just made me think of that film License to Drive as well. Did you ever see that when back in the day? I can't even remember.
No. Well, I don't. It doesn't ring a bell.
It's the typical 80s movie where the guy was trying to get a license to drive, and it's retro the same as the way that game felt. That's why that came into my head. But,
right.
But everyone else here can drive in this house, so it's so. Yep, Jane, you need to watch Still Game. I've been trying to put her on to it. If this guy can understand it.
What are you trying to say? What the hell are you trying to say?
I just mean culturally, Yeah. 1 million drivers. Oh.
1 million drivers don't have a license. Sad in style of Amy Dad. Oh, said in style. Oh, 1 million drivers are no. That's more like Nabi. What the hell? Anyways, no. You got to say it like Dr. Evil then, I assume is what he means. Mini-Me's dad,
Yeah.
Dr. Evil.
Maybe.
How about
Mini-Me's
no?
dad. Yes.
How about no?
Yeah.
No. Anyway.
1 million drivers.
1 million. Yeah.
So you need to say it right. You need to say it right. You need to do the wee pinky, which we like the wee pinky, don't we? But yeah, it's on Netflix, Jane. It's on Netflix, and there's how many series? 8, 7.
You don't get every episode, Jane, but you get most of them. I know I've missed episodes because I know they're not all there on Netflix. For instance, Hogmanay in the elevator.
Yeah. Well, that's because that was like a Christmas special. But you're not like, you get the full series, you just don't get like the extra special Hogmanay one that you love, don't you?
Really? Okay. Well, there must be other specials because you guys also sent me a clip one time of Isa and
that was maybe a new series.
Isa and Winston that I have never seen everywhere else except for when you sent it to me.
I'm making a proposal that we have a Still Game episode here. You and I should talk about our favourite.
Well, we can.
And we should make it homework for everyone. They've all got to watch it so they know what we're talking about. You check in at the door. Have you watched it yet? Have you watched it yet? And get them all going.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next article.
Okay, right now I have to tell everyone about I'm not as smooth with the whole screen sharing as Dr. Evil here is.
Holy Christ.
1 million. So I know what I'm doing, but I might pull a funny face while I'm doing it. I'm sure you've heard that before.
Yep. Start with the shoe sting. Anyway, no, sorry.
Right,
anyway.
hang on. No.
That's cool.
Exactly, right. So share screen. So I'll talk to myself as well. We all do that, don't we?
Yep.
Share screen, and I want to... This would be a funny one if we get it.
You got to add it from down below.
Yeah. Well, my bar's up at the top.
Oh, there it is.
And then...
It's thinking about it. Uh-oh.
Is it thinking about it? Oh, no.
Black.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I wonder if that was because of our earlier thing.
I don't know. Maybe your computer is struggling.
Not happy. Yeah, it's not happy. Hang on. Tell a joke or something.
Those up myself.
I had a crash. My computer crashed just before we were coming on. And I had it all ready. It was all ready to go.
So far, it's letting me. All right. All right.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
Sorry, guys, as well.
As long as
the other one or not.
at any point, a pop-up may pop up in the middle of this and prevent us from reading it. So, all right.
Well, this is a cracker of a story here.
This one is funny. A man with a horse and cart furious about being refused service he drives through. So
he's got a horse and cart, and he tries to go to KFC.
Yeah, I would say the problem it might have been a little bit here that he put the cart before the horse at KFC.
Yes, maybe.
Anyway, no. But to be fair, though, he was able to go to McDonald's afterwards.
Well, I think it was a miscarriage of justice.
Yeah, miscarriage of justice.
Yes.
He was able to go to McDonald's afterwards.
He was.
He had the horse before the carriage there.
And John, the name of the horse was John, and he said apparently the horse is a very well behaved horse, and it was a shame that he didn't get to get his KFC because it was a big bargain bucket that he wanted.
Right. What he was saying was he ordered his bucket. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the manager was already there, yelling at him. So. Yeah,
to get out. But this
talking about health and safety.
Yes. I wondered if they thought the horse was going to put.
Think about how nasty some people's cars are, folks. I mean, think about that for a second. Think about how nasty some people's cars are. So anyway,
I mean, the poor horse. And the thing is, if you read the story, you should all look it up. You should all look this story up and read it in full because it's really funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he says he goes to McDonald's and gets a Big Mac. I'll
Right.
show the horse, because it's a lovely horsey.
There it is. Yeah.
Look at that, it's beautiful.
Looks like a
Bonny horsey. Look at this. So he goes to McDonald's and they serve him fine, no problem at all. But the funny thing is, he said he's not tried any other places, but he's thinking about trying Burger King to see whether they let him in or not.
See, a KFC spokesman said, "Hold your horses, Carlisle."
Yes, hold your horses, Carlisle. Yeah.
You're still an asshole, but very funny.
And apparently the horse has been helping him rehabilitate because he had an accident with another horse. So it's basically been his way of getting about on this horse.
Well, he says the horse cart is a common way to get around from where he's from.
Yeah. So basically that's like if he's had an injury, it's effectively his wheelchair, isn't it?
John
So that's like a proper discriminating against him.
Quiet as a lamb, and he's a very well-behaved horse.
Yes, wee horsey. A horse, of course.
So there you go.
Yeah. So I mean, he should maybe have tried to trot down to somewhere else, but
Let's see. The pair often travel 23 miles to Carlisle.
Yeah.
In the horse and carriage here.
William said some people turn up at KFC with dead bodies in the trunk.
Oh.
But they wouldn't even let him in with his wee horsey. Oh no, and he also said horse and carts have been around long before cars were. That was the other thing he said. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So he was like not happy at all.
Let's see. John said he hasn't taken the horse and cart through any other drive-thrus, but he added he is keen to see if Burger King will let him in.
Yeah. I wonder if I'm going to have the same problem with the next one.
I don't know. Let me see.
But that's a funny one, that man refused KFC. So will I try clicking on it?
Oh, wait, I got to go up to that one's further up. Hold on. It's up here.
Because that's so annoying. I was all prepared. I was all organised. Had all my tabs all open at the top. All ready to go. Frozen. Must have read. Ready for me to add it?
Yeah, you're gonna have to do it. It's already throwing it up. It's already throwing
right.
up.
Hold. Give me a second then, and I'll see if it opens up. I'll see whether if I refresh it. No. So professional here.
Yeah.
Well, this is only where we channel, and we're.
Why the heck weren't you getting prepared all the time when I was talking?
I was clicking it and all the time when you're talking. You're always talking. Has it gone black?
Spinning wheel. Yeah, it's all black.
Why
the hell can't you screen share? What the hell's wrong with your computer?
See, I know. I need a computer person.
All right. Well, we'll save that story for next week, folks.
Yeah, and it was a good one as well. I don't want to. It was definitely a good tale, wasn't it?
We'll make Sharon go in and make a recording of it beforehand so that we don't have to.
Yeah.
So, all right. Final story, folks. This one's pretty funny too.
Yes.
This one's really funny. So, in Russia, obviously in this particular hospital that this story comes out of, They
You want me to add it?
require the nurses, and I would imagine even the medical staff probably, to wear these these plastic suits,
PPE.
PPE suit, whatever, but it's plastic suit, basically clear, like a kind of a slightly foggy see-through plastic, but mostly not foggy, right?
Yes.
And so what's funny is we had a nurse that had an issue with the heat, and so just to show you guys how that ended up looking, here it is. So let me get down to Miss Thing.
I think it was in Russia.
Miss Thing? Check out Miss Thing, dude. Holy crap. So I can imagine all the spirits on this ward were lifted as soon as she walked onto it. In fact, another nurse actually mentions the fact that the spirits on this ward lifted the moment that this particular Miss Thing walked onto the ward. So now I call her Miss Thing, folks. I don't think she was actually there trying to like sex it up or but trying to be provocative. I really don't think so.
Many of the men felt lifted.
Funny trick to say it that way.
Yeah.
But really, she was just overheating. It was hot, and she had to wear all of her clothes underneath that plastic. It was killing her. She was overheating. So she ended up switching to a bikini.
She put a bikini on. I know exactly. Yeah.
So she got herself in trouble.
She got severely reprimanded.
Severely reprimanded by some prudes who didn't realize that she was actually lifting the morale on that ward.
Yes.
So,
maybe not just the morale.
Maybe not just the morale.
Maybe not just the morale.
So, oh, brother. Anyways, so what else we got here? A patient said that there was no objection to her attire, but there had been some embarrassment. So some of the guys had originally gotten a little bit embarrassed when they saw her walk onto the ward like that, but got over that quickly and were ogling her.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe they were embarrassed because for the aforementioned point that I just said.
The exact
that was the embarrassment.
Is unknown, so we don't know if this young lady was allowed to keep working or if she was fired because it was too hot. My suggestion is turn on the AC in that hospital.
Hot nurse.
Don't make her have to work in that crap in increased temperatures. I mean, come on, but let's be fair here.
Well, it was in Russia, so they're maybe not,
right?
Maybe not got the same AC because we don't have AC.
See, they would have preferred that she was wearing all those clothes on so that she overheated and just had to take everything off.
Yeah.
Then she would have been butt naked, right? I think that was their end game. So maybe having the bikini on under the PPE was preventing her from reaching the end game. Maybe that's what they were really after.
What? What?
So, but like I said, you could tell from one of the persons on that ward themselves that she certainly wasn't, hurting the morale or the spirits in that ward. Quite the opposite. So, all right, that's our last story for today, folks. I hope you found it humorous.
Yeah.
And like I said, we have another story that we did think was funny, and we are going to share.
Yeah, we can add that to next week.
But we'll figure it out for next week because we got to let Sharon figure out her screen sharing.
Well, it's because it's crashed. Because it crashed, what it gave me the option did I want to open the tabs again after it crashed. So when I just clicked that, it's not opened them up properly.
William,
for some reason.
It's reported that she now works for the Kremlin.
I don't know whether he's been funny or not. Are you serious? He's me sounding gullible now.
I'm assuming he's joking. I'm assuming he doesn't know. But it would be funny if that's what happened.
Yeah.
She's reprimanded. You go straight to the top of the...
Yeah.
Bad girl. You go straight to the top of the class. Okay.
She's got to go and work to clean up for Vladimir Putin, and she's got to wear that outfit exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, brother. No, he'll have a selection of probably bikinis for her to wear underneath. When
Yes. Color coordinated to go with the decor in that specific place.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one matches all the gold shit I have in my house. Well, actually, all you need is gold. It's just there's 5 gold.
All gold. All gold.
Yeah.
And that works if you go and get a job for Trump as well.
Yep.
Right, yeah, in Trump Tower.
Oh, brother. All right. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Having a little fun here today.
Yeah.
Having some fun articles and some fun news.
And apologies for not having that one. I'm sorry, guys. But I know what we've brought so far was funny and it's been great. And I like doing these wee short videos. They're good. So,
yep, they're fun. So
yep. So well, it was nice seeing everyone. So
yep.
Are you anything else you want to say, Mr. Indy?
No, just
that us then.
First next week around this, well, Sunday.
Well, remember next weekend. Next weekend's the rally. The streaming rally.
Sundays, the rally.
Sundays are not, but I might be a bit after that. So.
Yeah. Okay, Miss Tough Ouija. All right.
I'll put a message out anyway.
So next Sunday is to be determined.
To be determined, yes. But I'll put a wee message out to let everybody know, just so that you know. But it's just in case, in case I celebrate on Saturday night after them.
Right?
Well,
Ouija, steaming Ouija.
That's it. Yeah, steaming Ouija. So, well, anyway, guys, we'll catch you all later. And thanks, everybody, for popping in. And it was nice to see you all.
Bye, folks.
Bye, everyone. Press it.